This is what we call a transformer, right? Transformer එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ එක circuit එකකට ඔයා current එකක් දෙනවා. You provide a current to one circuit and through the soft iron the other circuit will also get a current. Like it will get an induced current. මෙන්න මේකම තමයි අපි transformer එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ. Okay. එතකොට usually this is now I will start today's whiteboard since this was yesterday's one, not last week's one. Okay, this is today's whiteboard. Huh? I will put the link in the main chat. You can click on it if you cannot see the whiteboard, right? Okay, so transformer එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ circuits දෙකක් තියෙනවා. Okay. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපි circuit diagram එකක transform now we know resistor එකක් පෙන්නන්නේ මෙහෙම. Battery එකක් පෙන්නන්නේ මෙහෙම. Bulb එකක් you show like this, right? Dry cell එකක් පෙන්නන්නේ මෙන්න මේ විදියට. And you know diode එකක් පෙන්නන්නේ මෙහෙම. Right? Transistor එකක් පෙන්නන්නේ මෙහෙම. Like this, right? ඒ වගේ transform එකක් අපි මේ circuit diagram එකේ පෙන්නන්නේ මෙන්න මෙහෙම. You know in a transformer there are two circuits, right? මෙහෙම තියෙනවා and then at the middle I'm gonna draw 3 lines and then මෙන්න මෙහෙම. This is our circuit 1. අර කලින් එකේ අපි කතා කරේ circuit 1 කියන එක තමයි මේ. This is circuit 2. මේ මැද ඉරි තුනෙන් represent වෙන්නේ ළමයි soft iron. If you know the first circuit and the second circuit were not directly connected, they were connected through the soft iron, right? Through the soft iron wires. එහෙනම් මේ මැද ඉරි තුනෙන් පෙන්නන්නේ soft iron. So this is how you represent a transformer in a circuit diagram. Don't write anything, huh? එතකොට ළමයි දැන් proper transformer එකක් තියෙන්නේ මෙන්න මේ විදියට. Okay, let me insert it to the whiteboard. අපි කලින් ඉගෙන ගත්ත කොහොමද transformer එකක් වැඩ කරන්නේ කියලානේ. Right? It's just we try to understand the concept only. So ඇත්තටම transformer එකක් construct කරන්නේ මෙන්න මෙහෙම. Okay. So as usual අපිට එක coil එකක්, ඒ කියන්නේ එක circuit එකක් තියෙනවා. Circuit 1, right? This is our primary coil. Primary coil කියන්නේ අපේ circuit 1 එක. Okay. And then we have secondary coil. Secondary coil කියන්නේ අපේ circuit 2 එක. So circuit 1, this now what kind of a current is this ළමයි? What kind of a current is this? Yeah. Yes, Saki, what about others? Yeah, it is an alternating current. Alternating current එකක් මම circuit 1 එකට දෙනවා. And then circuit 2 එකට automatically current එකක් generate වෙනවා. ඒක බලන්න මොකද resistor එකක් connect කරනවා. This resistor could be like an instrument or like a bulb මොකක් හරි එකක් තමයි මෙතන resistor එක විදිහට අපි connect කරන්නේ. මෙතන හැදෙන current එක හින්දා magnetic field එකක් හැදෙනවා. That magnetic field will travel through soft iron. මෙන්න මේක ඇවිල්ලා soft iron වලින් හැදිච්ච එකක්. ඇවිල්ලා secondary coil එකට එනවා. Since the secondary coil is experiencing a change in magnetic field, it will produce an induced current. You know මෙතන alternating current එකක් නේ. Alternating current එක හින්දා first circuit එකේ alternating or changing magnetic field එකක් generate වෙනවා. මේ soft iron දිගේ that changing magnetic field will go to circuit 2. In circuit 2, it is experiencing it's just a stationary coil in a changing magnetic field. So a current will automatically be induced. We call it induced current, right? එතකොට මේ first circuit එක. Now අපි ඉස්සෙල්ලා කතා කරද්දී we just said circuit 1 and circuit 2. Okay? And Now we call it like we have like better names for it. We don't just call it circuit 1 and circuit 2. Circuit 1 එකට අපි කියනවා primary coil එක කියලා. This is the primary coil. Circuit 2 එකට අපි කියනවා secondary coil. So the primary coil we also call input. Primary coil එකට අපි input කියලාත් කියනවා. Secondary coil එකට අපි output කියලාත් කියනවා. Right? Primary coil is the first circuit, we also call it input. Secondary coil is the second circuit, we also call it the output. මේ මැද structure එක හදලා තියෙන්නේ soft iron වලින්. The middle structure is formed of soft iron. Okay? Then lamai, there are some factors that we have to consider. Ekak tamai, if you take the primary coil. Now you know this primary coil is wrapped around the soft iron base. Soft iron base එක වටේ මේ wrap කරලානේ තියෙන්නේ මේ. කොච්චර පාරක් wrap කරලාද? The number of කොච්චර පාරක් wrap කරලාද? The number of windings we have to consider. So number of windings that අපි කියනවා number of turns කියලා. මේ primary coil එකේ number of turns ඉඳලා we call it NP. NP is the number of turns in the primary coil. This is the secondary coil. මේකේ turns ගාන we call it NS. Number of turns in the secondary coil. Okay. Also, there's another thing that we have to consider. We are giving a certain like current එකක් දෙනවා කියලා කියන්නේ voltage එකක් දෙනවානේ. එතකොට primary coil එකේ තියෙන voltage එක or electromotive force we call it VP. Okay. Then secondary coil එකේ induce වෙන electromotive force එක නැත්නම් voltage එක අපි කියනවා VS. Okay, so NP means number of turns in primary coil, NS is number of turns in secondary coil. මොනවද ලියන්න එපා, just listen. VP කියන්නේ ළමයි voltage or electromotive force in primary coil and VS කියන්නේ induced EMF or voltage in secondary coil. These are the terms that we need to know. Okay. So, is that clear up to that point? A point එකට වෙනකන් is it clear? Give me a thumbs up, please. Everybody let me know. Okay. So let's add a sentence. අපි අර ටික උඩ ටික ලියුවානේ. Then we'll add a few, we'll write the note. පොඩකින්න දැම්ම ලියන්න එපා. Let me complete the note here. Okay, ළමයි. So let's quickly write this one. මෙන්න මෙතන තමයි මේ ටික ලියාගෙන then we are going to learn a very important relationship. Okay. So quickly draw this and then construction for transformer කියලා මෙන්න මේ ටික draw කරගන්න. Make it fast. Let me know when you're done, Lamai. Done ළමයි? ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඉවරච්ච ගමන් give me a thumbs up. I'll give you like okay, I'll give you 2 more minutes. Make it fast. Now the time is 7:30. So 7:30 කියලා හිතන් හිටපු කට්ටිය හරි දැන් join වෙන්න ඕනේනේ. Okay. Anyways, so this is the transform, right? So transform එක primary coil එක තියෙනවා, which is the input, then secondary coil එක තියෙනවා, which is the output, and then input එකේ number of turns we call it NP, output එකේ number of turns we call it NS, and input එකේ voltage එක we call it VP or the EMF, and secondary coil එකේ output එකේ හැදෙන induced EMF එක or voltage එක we call it VS. So, Ramai, there is a certain formula, like a certain relationship between these terms, right? The relationship is as such that when you divide the number of turns in the primary coil by the number of turns in the secondary coil, that ratio is equal to the voltage of the primary coil divided by the induced voltage or induced electromotive force in the secondary coil. So this is a very important relationship that we need to know. Number of turns in the primary coil divided by number of turns in the secondary coil equals electromotive force in the primary coil divided by induced electromotive force in the secondary coil. Okay? එතකොට මේක ටක් ගාලා ලියාගන්න මේ formula, not the formula, this relationship. Quickly write it. Okay. Now, Lamai, so this is the basics of a transformer. We learned about how the transformer is constructed. Bulimapi concept එක තේරුම් ගත්තා. That's why we did that activity last week, right? And then we got the understanding about the transformer, what it actually does. And then අපි කොහොමද circuit එක represent කරන්න කියලා ඉගෙන ගත්තා, and we learned how it is constructed. And also then we learned the relationship between NP, NS, VP, and VS. Okay. Now, when we consider transformers, there are two types of transformers. We have step-up transformers. And we have step-down transformers. මේ දෙක මෙන්න මෙහෙමයි වෙන්නේ. Step-up transformer එකක් මෙන්න මෙහෙමයි හැදෙන්නේ. Okay. ඔන්න primary coil එක තියෙනවා. So we know we have to supply a certain electromotive force and a voltage to the primary coil. මම මේක මෙන්න මේ alternating voltage එකක් දෙනවා. So because of that an alternating current will be generated. This is my soft iron, right? And on the other hand, look at my secondary coil. So secondary coil එකේ මෙතන කැමති instrument එකක් connect කරන්න පුළුවන්. It could be a bulb, it could be any electric equipment, anything like that. Okay. So if you look at now this is the primary coil. This is the primary coil. මේ මෙතන තියෙන primary coil එක මේ පැත්තේ, and then මේ පැත්තේ තියෙන secondary coil, as you know. Okay, we have a primary coil and we have a secondary coil. Now, if you look at the primary coil and the secondary coil, which one has more number of turns? Number of turns වැඩි මොකේද? Is it in primary coil or secondary coil? In which coil is the number of turns larger or higher? Pick it up. You can see here that the number of turns in the primary coil is less than the number of turns in the secondary coil. Or number of turns in the secondary coil is more than the number of turns in the primary coil. Then according to this equation, number of turns in the primary coil and number of turns in the secondary coil can ratio equal voltage in the primary coil and voltage in the secondary coil can ratio. Enang, if the number of turns in the secondary coil is greater than the number of turns in the primary coil, voltage will also be the same. Voltage of the secondary coil will be larger or higher than the voltage of the primary coil. Therefore, Lamai, we use a step-up transformer to increase the voltage. ඔයා මොකක් හරි voltage එකක් දීලා ඒ voltage එක වැඩි කරන්න තමයි step-up transformer එකක් use කරන්නේ. And this is how it is constructed. Is that clear to all of you? Thumbs up, please. Aki, Binuti, Disal, Fatima, Senet. All right. Now we will move on to step down transformer. Step down transformer එක construct කරලා තියෙන්නේ මෙන්න මේ විදියට. This is the primary coil with an alternating voltage and an alternating current. This is our soft iron base. සමන ඉරි තුනකින් පෙන්නන්නේ soft iron එක තමයි transform එකක. Then this is the primary coil. And this is connected to a certain resistor. It could be, again, as I previously said, it could be any electric equipment. So this is the primary coil. And this is the secondary coil. Okay. Make evaluhama, in which coil is the number of turns higher? In which coil is the number of turns higher? In which coil is the number of turns higher? Primary coil. So the number of turns in the primary coil is higher than the number of turns in the secondary coil. Since the number of turns ratio is equal to the voltage ratio, number of turns in the primary coil වැඩි number of turns in the secondary coil වඩා, the voltage in the primary coil will also be greater than the induced voltage in the secondary coil. ඒ කියන ළමයි අපි step down transform එකක් use කරන්නේ. If you give it a certain voltage, it will reduce the voltage. Step up means when you give it a certain voltage, it will increase that voltage through the transformer. Step down means if you give it a certain voltage, it will reduce the voltage using the transform. Step up and step down. Okay. Let's quickly write this one down. Make it agaliagam ළමයි. මේ මෙතන මේ NP මේ formula එක ලිව්වනේ. Okay. Quickly write this down. Make it fast. One more minute. Okay. Done, everybody? All right. Now, Lamai, don't write anything. We will talk about the applications of a transformer. For that, I will use this part from the textbook. एक අපි note එකේ වෙනම ලියන්න නැතුව මගේ question එකක් විදිහට දෙන්න. හැබැයි ඒක ලියන්නත් ඕගොල්ලන් දැනගෙන ඉන්න එපා. So we will discuss during the class. Okay. Applications of transformers. Alternating current electricity generated in electric power stations are stepped up to high voltages such as 132,000 volts, which is 132 kilovolts, or 220,000 volts, which is 220 kilovolts, using step-up transformers before supplying to the national power grid. Power stations you know, in Sri Lanka, mainly electricity is generated by hydropower. So we have hydropower stations, Victoria, Ramdenika, Lakshapana, there are hydropower stations. Itaning had then a current step up karana, right? Step up. Step up karana, high voltages, volata, like 132, 120, 220 kilovolts, wage garang volta, step up karana. Right? That is done by step up transformers. If we want to increase the voltage, we have to use step up transformers. May තියෙන power station එක step up කරනවා. See, this is a step up transformer. And then it is sent to the national power grid. National power grid එක කරන්නේ ළමයි හැම තැනම තියෙන current එක collect කරනවා. All the current generated in hydropower station, coal fired station, and everywhere to one central system. That is a national power grid. එතකොට හැම තැනම power stations වල හැදෙන electricity, it's step up. The voltage is increased and sent to the national power grid. Okay. Step down transformers are used in power substations to distribute power obtained from main power transmission station to homes. So national power grid එකෙන් ගෙවල් වලට යවදී there is a power substation. National power grid එකේ substation එකට ගිහිලා substation එකෙන් තමයි ගෙවල් වලට යන්නේ. මෙතන තියෙන step down transformer එකක්. See, that voltage should be decreased. 220 kilovolts is decreased up to 22 kilovolts. 220 එක 22 volt වගේ reduce කරනවා power substations වලදී. Then, in order to obtain high voltages used in microwave, ඊට පස්සේ ගෙවල් වලදී again තව ටිකක් step down වෙනවා. ගෙදරට එනකොට තව ටිකක් step down වෙනවා. And you know our domestic electric circuit up to only 230 volts. We learned this in power and energy lesson. Our domestic electric circuit needs 230 volts. So power stations wala hadana current, it is stepped up to a higher voltage and sent to national power grid. And then from the national power grid in the power substations, it stepped down. And then may electric wires can somehow tangle central karputai. Transformers to step it down furthermore, because our house should only receive 220 to 230 volts. Okay. In order to obtain high voltages used in microwave ovens and X-ray tubes, step-up transformers are used. They are also used in power packs and electric appliances. ගොඩක් electric appliances වල ළමයි transform එකක් තියෙනවා. Okay? Especially like if you take microwave ovens වගේ ඒගොල්ලන්ට ටිකක් high voltage එකක් ඕනේ. ඒතර domestic electric circuit එකට එන voltage එක මදි වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Therefore, inside the microwave, there is a step-up transform. එතන plug කරපු ගමන් domestic circuit එකෙන් 230 volts එනවා. ඒ transform එකෙන් ඒක high voltage එකට convert වෙලා තමයි microwave එක use කරන්නේ. In hospitals and such, X-ray tubes and X-ray machines are there. They also have step-up transformers. ඊට පස්සේ ළමයි power packs වල තියෙන step up not step up, step up or step down transformers. ඒ කියන්නේ ළමයි there are certain electric appliances that are quite sensitive and they need particular voltages. ඒතර domestic circuit එකේ එන voltage එක අඩු හෝ වැඩි වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Therefore, first it's sent to a power pack. Power pack එකේ එක්කෝ step up වෙනවා නැත්නම් step down වෙනවා. Then that voltage will be sent to the electric appliance. Okay? So these are the applications of a transformer, not a transistor, it's a transformer. Is this clear to all of you? Is it clear, Lamai? Give me a thumbs up, please. Okay. Let's මේක මම මුළු එක දැන් මෙතන ලියන්න යන්නේ නැහැ. මොකද ඒක basically textbook එකේ තියෙන ටික තමයි අපි දාන්න ඕනේ. Okay? So instead I will give a question. ඒතර ඔයගොල්ලන් ඉඳ තියාගෙන ගෙදර ගිහලා අරකට read කරලා පාඩම් කරලා ලියන්න. Quickly put this question. Ansika, Akib, homework විදිහට ලියන්න. No point, no, it's the same thing. So let's not waste time for that. Now, Lamai, put a topic. Energy relation in a transformer. Put a topic, energy relation in a transformer. Usually, Lamai, in any circuit that carries current, any circuit that carries current has a voltage, right? Current යන ඕනම circuit එකක voltage එකක් තියෙනවා. හරිද? එතකොට we can express power. You know power we usually write in watts name. If you take a bulb, if you take any electric equipment, any appliance, there is a certain power value. Right? Wattage කියලා කියන අපි power වලට watt වලින් තියෙනවා. Watt is in W, right? Watt වලින් තියෙනවා මෙයාගේ කොච්චර power එකක් යනවාද, power එකක් consume කරනවාද කියලා. Therefore, in any circuit, it is important for us to talk about the power. So, if you take a circuit where there is a current flow එකක් තියෙනවා කියන්නේ voltage එකක් තියෙනවා. එතකොට අපිට power ලියන්න පුළුවන් මෙන්න මෙහෙම equation එකකින්. Power equals voltage multiplied by current. P equals V multiplied by current is I. So VI. So this is a formula which we can use to find the power in any circuit where there is a current flow and there is a voltage. Current flow එකක් තියෙනවා කියන්නේ කොහොමත් voltage තියෙනවා. ඒතර අපිට මේක use කළා we can find the power. Okay. දැන් අපි transform එකක් ගත්තොත්. transform එකක් ගත්තොත් ළමයි there is a primary coil. එතකොට transform එකේ primary coil එකකින් ඉඳන් secondary coil එකටනේ යන්නේ. The magnetic field, if you remember. Primary coil එකේ there is a current flow. We give it a current. Because of that current, a magnetic field is generated. That magnetic field is transferred or passed to the secondary coil, where the secondary coil is just a coil, just a circuit. But since the magnetic field is changing, that will induce an electromotive force and a current. එහෙමනේ transform එකක් වැඩ කරන්නේ. මේකේ මට මෙන්න power equals voltage multiplied by current කියන formula එක මට primary coil එකටයි secondary coil එකටයි වෙනම ලියන්න පුළුවන්. Right? So power in the primary coil. Primary coil එකේ power එක කියලා කියන්නේ voltage in the primary coil multiplied by current in the primary coil. Primary coil එකේ මොකක් හරි voltage එකක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ. මොකක් හරි current එකක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ. So primary coil එකේ power එක කියලා කියන්නේ the voltage in the primary coil you multiply by the current in the primary coil. That secondary coil එකේ power එක කියලා කියන්නේ voltage in the secondary coil you multiply by the current in the secondary coil because P equals VI. Okay. Now lamai, what is efficiency? ඔගාන මතකද අපි කතා කරා power and energy lesson එකේ we talked about efficiency. අපි කිව්වා මොකක් හරි එකකට now this is something that we discussed previously. Yeah? හිතන්න bulb එකක් තියෙනවා කියලා. ඔයා එයාට electrical energy දෙනවා 100 joules. ඒකෙන් light energy වලට convert වෙනවා 60 joules. ඉතුරු 40 joules වලට මොනවද වෙන්නේ? What do you think? What do you think, Neme? What do you remember? We learned this before. ඉතුරු 40 joules වලට මොනවද වෙන්නේ? Wasted as what? 40 joules wasted as what? Yes. Wasted as heat energy. Give me a second. Okay. So, ituru 40 joules heat energy වලට convert වෙනවා. And it's wasted. So, if I ask you in this light bulb, what is the efficiency? What is the efficiency in this light bulb? What is the efficiency? Tell quickly. If I ask you the efficiency of this bulb, what would you say? Efficiency කියන එක value එකක් විදිහට ඔයගොල්ලන් කියන්නේ. Seems like you can't remember much about efficiency. We did efficiency, right? ළමයි efficiency අපි ලියන්නේ percentage එකක් විදිහට. Yes, 100 joules වලින් 60 joules light energy විදියට convert වුණා නම් light energy is the energy form that we require. Yes, efficiency is 60%. This is something that we have learned already, right? In the previous lesson. Efficiency is 60%. Okay. If you take a transformer, my primary coil එකකින් secondary coil එකට current එක යනවානේ. So power එකත් යනවා. So generally, practically ගත්තොත් එම ඇත්තටම efficient 100% efficiency නැහැ. Even in a transformer. When current is current from the primary coil and that voltage will generate power, that power will be transmitted to the secondary coil. Make a video. හැබැයි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් 100% efficiency නැහැ. Primary coil එකේ 100 joules electrical energy එකක් යනවා නම් that 100 joules will not go to the secondary coil. හැබැයි අපි assume කරනවා efficiency 100% කියලා. We assume that the efficiency is 100%. If the efficiency is 100%, that means primary coil එකේ power එක power in the primary coil will be equal to power in secondary coil. Okay. Then primary coil එකේ power එක is equal to VP multiplied by IP. එහෙනම් power in the primary coil වෙනුවට මම ලියනවා VP multiplied by IP. Power in the secondary coil is equal to VS multiplied by IS. So instead of power in the secondary coil, I write VS IS. This is also a very important equation that you come across in electromagnetism. Okay. So එතන අපි මේ terms ටික define කරොත් VP ඔයගලන් දන්නවා VP කියන්නේ voltage in the primary coil, VS කියන්නේ voltage in the secondary coil. මම ඒ දෙක ලියන්නේ නැහැ, but IP කියන්නේ IP is current in primary coil and IS means current in secondary coil. Did you all understand this? Generally, ඕනම circuit එකක මේක තියෙනවා. Transformers වලත් primary coil, secondary coil කියන circuits දෙකක්නේ. So we can write power equations like this. If the efficiency is 100%, powers in the two coils will be equal. එහෙම තමයි අපි මේ equation එකට ආවේ. Others? Others, is it clear? All right. Then we will quickly write this as well. With this, we come to the end of the lesson. Make it balan. Make it fast. Can write in Lamai? Others? Okay. So we will just do one question and then api ayman past papers kar kar hidu putanta yamu. Okay, Lamai. Shall we do this question? This is from your exercise. The last exercise of this lesson, exercise 13.5. 13.5 okay, my third decade. Quickly do this, Lamai. Quickly do lamai. If you all are done, let me know. Anita, have you all finished? So 2 of you are done. What about others? Binuti done, yes, I saw. Akib done. Then Sanuli, Nilaka, Fatima, Dinugi, then Disal, Oneli, Yashini, Batula, Senate Oneli also done. All right. I think we can discuss. Lamai, for about half an hour, I will keep my camera off. And then I will switch it on. Huh? Okay. So we have the ratio between the number of turns in the primary coil and the secondary coil in a certain transformer is 1:10. A ratio between the number of turns in the primary coil to number of turns in the secondary coil is 1:10. Right? An alternating current with a voltage difference of 6 volt is supplied to primary coil. Again, VP is 6 volts. An output current of 20 amperes is required from the secondary coil. Output current of a secondary coil, that is IS, that is 20 amperes. Find the following assuming the efficiency of the transformer is 100%. Voltage output of the secondary coil, that means VS. Now, lamai, මෙහෙමද කරේ කියලා බලන්න. NP over NS ratio එක 1:10 කියලා කියන්නේ NP to NS ratio, if it's 1:10, that means NP over NS would be 1/10, right? Ratio එකක් fraction එකකට convert කරන්න අපි එහෙමනේ. NP to NS ratio, if it's 1:10, that means NP over NS fraction is 1/10. දැන් අපි ඉගෙන ගත්තා මෙන්න මෙතන NP over NS equals VP over VS කියලා. Okay, so we can use that here. NP over NS equals VP over VS. The NP over NS මං කියවනේ 1/10 කියලා අපි ගමු කියලා. So 1/10 equals VP is given, which is 6 volt. My unit එක නැතුව දාන්න 6 කියලා. VS is what we have to find. So let's do a cross multiplication. 1 multiplied by VS is VS. 6 multiplied by 10. VS is 60 volts. Avadu Amai, give me a thumbs up if you got this. Okay. Roman number 2. Current input to the primary. That means IP එක අපෙන් අහන්න. එහෙනම් අපි use කරන්න ඕනේ මෙන්න මෙයා. VP IP equals VS IS. VP is 6 volts. IP තමයි දන්නේ නැති IP තමයි අපෙන් අහන්නේ නේ. IP is what they're asking. Then VS කියන්නේ මෙතන අපි හොයාගත්ත VS is 60 volt කියලා. IS මෙතන දීලා තියෙනවා 20 amperes කියලා. This 6 I will bring it to other side. So IP equals 60 multiplied by 20. This 6 I bring it to other side. Then it becomes division. So 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 10 is 60. 10 multiplied by 20 is 200. Give me a thumbs up if you got this answer, Lamai. Okay, great. Roman number 3, ratio between the primary voltage and the secondary voltage. Okay, මෙතනින් මම දන්නා. Ratio between the primary voltage and the secondary voltage. So primary voltage කියන්නේ VP කියන්නේ 6 volt. Secondary voltage මෙතන අපි හොයාගත්තා that is 60 volt. So 6 and 60, then නම් 6 can divide වුණාම 1 is to 10. Then Roman number 4 is ratio between primary current and secondary current. Primary current and secondary current. What did you all get for this? Okay, Binuti, others? අනිතයට මොකද ආවේ? Yeah. Yes, Anuli, yes, Saki. 1 is to 10. IP here is 200 and ISC is 20, ne? Then now 20 can divide with 200, 20 can divide with 10. 20, 20 can divide with 1. So it should be 10 is to 1. Okay? Is this clear to everybody? Can you all give me a thumbs up? Okay. Now, මට කියන්න බලන්න ළමයි අපි කොහෙද past papers වල නැවැත්තුවේ? I'm going to give you a list of homework also, but first of all, tell me where we stopped in past papers. Where did we do last in past papers? Lamai. 2018 part A 2, 3, 4, 5. Did we discuss this, Sanuli? Discuss කරලා තියෙන්නේ? No. So we have to discuss those. Okay, great. So චුට්ටක් 2017 paper එකට ගියොතින් 2017. Have we done So 2017 එකේ අපි wait 2017 එකේ first එක කරේ නෑ තාම අපි biosphere කළ නැති හින්දා second question we did the 2017 paper. Second question we did. Let me screenshot. This is the 2017 paper. So mama කියන දේවල් වල මොන හරි mistake එකක් තියෙනවා නම් point it out. So here in the 2017 paper, the first one we didn't do because it's biosphere. Second one එක මේක අපි කරා. Third එකත් අපි කරා. Fourth එක අපි කරේ නෑ because මෙන්න මේක ආපු හින්දා. We didn't do the 2017 fourth one, right? Anyone? Right, Sanuli. Okay. 2017 fourth එක අපි කරේ නෑ නේද? Quick to tell. අගා check කරලා බලන්න. ඔගන් පොත පෙරලා බැලුවේ නැතත් ඔගන් මතක් වෙන්න ඕනේ මේක කරාද නැද්ද කියලා. Okay. Mark this as homework. 2017 fourth question. 2017 fourth question is homework. Then fifth එක අපි කරා මට මතකයි. Then sixth එකත් කරා. Sixth එකේ A එක කරේ නෑ because it's hydrocarbons. But I remember that we did the B part. Seventh එක අපි කරා. Eighth එක කරාද? Seventh එක we did, no? Seventh question did we do? But we discussed half. කොතන රකද discuss කරේ මේකේ මෙනොතේ? Second එකේ third එකේ B එක වෙනකම් අපි discuss කරලා තියෙන්නේ. Okay. එහෙනම් අපි අද මෙතනින් discussion එක පටන් ගමු. ඊට පස්සේ homework තව තියෙනවා. So that means අපි 8th question එක කරේ නැද්ද? Did I give it as homework? අපි electromagnetism lesson එකට jump කරපු හින්දා I can't remember where we stopped. That's why. 8th එක. No. Then mark that as homework too. 2017 8th question. Then I suppose 9th එකත් අපි කරේ නැහැ කියලා. So 8th and 9th both mark it as homework. So you are going to have a bit more homework this week. 2017 fourth one, 2017 8 and 9. 7th එක අපි දැන් discuss කරමු. Let's go to the 2016 paper. First එක we didn't do because it's biosphere. Second එක I remember that we did this. Third එකත් අපි කරා. Fourth එක අපි කරා. Fourth එක කරා. Fifth එක කරා මතකයි. Sixth එක කරා. Seventh එක we didn't do, no? 2016 වල because this is electromagnetism නේ. ඔන්න ඒකත් homework. 2016 එකේ 7th එක homework. 8th එක කරා මතකයි. Then 9th එක අපි කරා. And so we have to discuss the 2017 7th question, the latter part, right? And in addition to that, 2018 එකේ මම ඔයගලන්ට homework දුන්නා 2 3 4 5. අර එක දවසක් අපිට class එක කරපු නැති දවසේ මම හිතන්නේ නේ. class එක කරපු නැති දවසේ I gave the homework 2 3 4 5. Okay. Great. homework ඉවර නෑ, තව homework තියෙනවා. So අපි අර ටික discuss කරමු. මම පැත්තේ මෙතන homework list එක දාන්නම්. හැමෝම මේ homework ටික ඔයාලා ලියාගන්න list එක 14th of December 2016 7th question. Paper 2 7th question. 2017 paper 2 4 8 and 9. Four, 8, 9. Then 1 second. And then 2018 paper එකෙත් අපි 2 3 4 තමයි මම homework දීලා තියෙන්නේ. හරි. In addition to these two, I want you all to start doing the MCQs now. Do the 2016 MCQ and the 2017 MCQ. මේ week එකේ homework ටික තමයි මේ තියෙන්නේ. Time manage කරලා දවස් 7ට බෙදාගෙන homework ටික කරගෙන එන්න. So මම ඔයගලන්ට time කරන විදිය කියලා දීලා තියෙනවානේ. Right, so if you remember MCQ අපි කළාම නැති හින්දා let me remind you that MCQ paper එකට you get 1 hour. But when you are practicing at home, textbook එකේ answers බලන්න නැතුව genuinely කරන්න try කරන්න, right? Take 45 minutes. Time කරන්න 45 minutes වලට. 45 minutes වලට කොහොම හරි කරන්න try එකක් දෙන්න ඕනේ, right? Because imagine that it's an exam that you have to finish it within 45 minutes. හැබැයි ඔයගලන්ට වෙලාව පොඩ්ඩක් මදි වුණොත් මොකද එකපාරට ඔයගලන්ට 45 minutes වලින් මේක කරන්න හම්බ වෙන්නේ නැහැ. It's going to take a bit more time. Right? ගොඩක් කරාට පස්සේ තමයි ඒක practice වෙන්නේ. ගොඩක් කියන්නේ papers 3-4ක් කරනකොට ඔය time එක හරියනවා. But 45 minutes වල time කරලා paper එක ඉවර කරන්න try කරන්න. ඉවර කරාට පස්සේ ඒ කියන්නේ 45 minutes කියන time එක පැන්නොත් time එක off කරලා ඉතුරු ටික කරන්න. But try to complete within 45 minutes as much as you can. So this is the homework this week. Let me put the homework to the group. මම දාන්න නැත්නම් අස්සේ කිව්වොත් එහෙම homework නැහැ කියලා. So we have proof in the group. Hare. Today now we will start discussing. So as we have finished, we have stopped halfway through 2017 7th question. අපි ඒක ඉතුරු ටික discuss කරමු. 2017 7th එක. 2017 7th එකේ Roman number 1, Roman number 2 and Roman number 3 we have finished. So today we have to discuss Roman number 4 and 5. කාට හරි මොන හරි ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා නම් let me know. Yes, this is the 2017 paper. Let me put here 2017 paper 2. Okay, 7th question. Okay, Roman number 1, 2, 3 we have finished as you all said. So today we have to discuss from Roman number 4 onwards. Okay. Then තමන් ලියපු answer ලියපු තැනට යන්න we will correct. In heavy rainy days, the drivers are advised to maintain 15 meters per second as the maximum velocity for a vehicle that is driven on the expressway mentioned in 3 above. What is the main reason for advising the drivers not to drive the vehicles at a higher velocity when heavy rain exists? ඇයි higher velocity එකකින් යන්න එපා කියන්නේ when there are heavy rains? Very briefly, just tell. What did you all write for this? Yeah, to prevent accidents, to prevent vehicle clashes, to prevent the vehicle from like slipping away, or to prevent road accidents. මොකක් එකක් දාන්න පුළුවන්. To prevent road accidents, or to prevent the vehicle from skidding or slipping, or to prevent the vehicles from clashing. ඒ වගේ එකක් දාන්න පුළුවන්. Explain scientifically your answer in A above. How would you explain this scientifically? Why would there be a higher tendency for accidents to occur when there is heavy rain? How would you scientifically explain this? Yeah. Lama, if you take two surfaces, if there is water between the two surfaces, chuttak slide veno lacy. That means friction is reduced when there is water between two surfaces. If you take the vehicle and the road, when there are heavy rains, there is a lot of water on the roads. Ekina friction significantly අඩු වෙනවා road එකේ. Friction අඩු වෙනවා කියන්නේ ලිස්සල යන්න තියෙන chance එක වැඩි. Okay? And now the reason is because reason as you all correctly said, because yeah, during rain, the friction between the road and the tires is less. That is the only reason. Friction අඩු වෙන හින්දා තමයි road accidents වෙන්නේ, වාහන slip වෙන්නේ, ඔක්කොම වෙන්නේ because friction is less. If you have different answers, you can let me know. Then C. On a heavy rainy day, the motion of the vehicle B, which traveled from the beginning to the end of the expressway mentioned in 3 above, එකන කලින් කතා කරපු expressway එක. It started from rest and uniformly accelerated in the first 10 seconds and acquired maximum velocity of 15 ms minus 1. Thereafter, it traveled at the same velocity for a certain time. In the last 10 seconds, it uniformly decelerated and came to rest at the end of the expressway. Draw a rough sketch of the velocity time graph for the motion. So velocity time graph, of course, you need the y-axis, which is velocity. You need the x-axis, which is time. Okay. So axis දෙක mark කරලා තියෙන්න ඕන. Velocity කියලා mark කරලා ms minus 1. Time කියලා mark කරලා seconds කියලා මුලින්ම axis දෙක තියෙන්න ඕන. This starts from rest and uniformly accelerated in the first 10 seconds. මෙයා rest එකෙන් පටන් අරගෙන uniformly accelerate වෙලා first 10 seconds වල. So first 10 seconds. And it acquired a maximum velocity of 15 ms minus 1. It acquired a maximum velocity of 15 ms minus 1. Thereafter, it traveled at the same velocity for a certain time. ඊට පස්සේ ඒ velocity එකෙන් යා ටිකක් දුර ගිහිල්ලා. All right. Let's say මෙච්චරක් විතර ගියා කියලා. එතන time එක කොච්චරද කියලා ගන්න දීලා නැහැ. So this time I will say that this duration is x කියලා. You know this duration is 10 නේ. ඒ duration mark කරලා තියෙන්න ඕනේ නැහැ ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ diagram එකේ. මම මේ දැන්ට මට context එකක් එන්න ඕනේ හින්දා mark කරේ. In the last 10 seconds, it uniformly decelerated and came to rest. The last 10 seconds, it uniformly decelerated and came to rest. Again, 0 වෙනවා. Last 10 seconds. Okay. So this is the shape of the velocity time graph, and this is how you should have drawn the velocity time graph. Okay. Is this clear to you? Any questions? All good? Okay. Find the total time taken by vehicle B to travel on the expressway. Time එක හොයන්න දැන් අපි දන්නවා ළමයි here the initial duration is 10 seconds. Here the final duration is also 10 seconds. මැද duration එක අපිට දෙන්න අපි දන්නේ නැහැ. එහෙනම් total time එක හොයන්න විදියක් නැහැ. මොකද අපි කරන්නේ? අපිට පුළුවන් නේද area under the graph ගන්න. In a velocity time graph, what does the area under the graph tell you? In a velocity time graph, what does the area under the graph tell you? Displacement. Displacement. That will give you displacement. Do we know the displacement of this object? Do we know the displacement of this object? What do you think? Okay, y'all say yes. What is the displacement of this object? What is the displacement? Others, what do you think? So Binuti Fatima says 27,000 meters. Why? At 27,000 meters can Lamai, this question clearly says that the motion of vehicle B which traveled from beginning to end of this expressway. කලින් කතා කරපු expressway එකේ distance එක අපි දන්නවා නේද? From the beginning to the end, the length of that expressway is 27,000 meters. මෙයාත් beginning to end තමයි ගිහිලා තියෙන්නේ. එහෙනම් මෙයා ගිහිලා තියෙන්නේ 27,000 meters තමයි. So displacement is 27,000 meters. ඒක තේරුම් නැද්ද ළමයි? Shall I will explain it one more time. This vehicle B, this has traveled from the beginning to the end of the expressway. අපි කලින් කතා වුණා beginning to the end of the expressway, expressway එකේ length එක 27,000 meters කියලා. If the vehicle B traveled from the beginning to the end, එහෙනම් vehicle B travel කරලා තියෙන්නේ 27,000 meters. Therefore, the displacement is 27,000 meters. And now we know the displacement is equal to the area under the graph. මුලින්ම අපි area under the graph හොයලා ඉමු. Lama, you can either find the areas of this triangle separately, this triangle separately, and this part separately. Right? එහෙම නැත්නම් මුළු trapezium එකම එකට area හොයන්නත් පුළුවන්. මම මේකට trapezium එකේ area එක එකට හොයන්න. Right? මේ length එක කියන්නේ x නේ. Plus මේ length එක කියන්නේ මෙතන 20, මෙතන 20, මෙතන x, so 20, 20, sorry. Metan 10, metan x. So 10, 10, x means 10 plus 10, 20, 20x. 20 plus x. This add only metan x, metan 20 plus x. So we add these two. We divide that by 2 and we multiply by the height. The perpendicular height is 15. Okay, so x plus x is 2x plus 20 divided by 2 multiplied by 15. 2x ke 20 ke common ek na 2, so I will take 2 out. So 2x ke 2 gathama x iturui, 20 ke 2 gathama 10 ituru. Divided by 2 multiplied by 15. 2 cancel una, we have may 15 x plus 10. And we know the area under the graph represents displacement. Now we know the value of displacement as 27,000 meters. And MEA should be equal to 27,000 meters. 15 x plus 10 should be equal to 27,000. Ma 15 eha pattara genina, then it becomes division. Division. Then we will simplify. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 5 is 25. 2 remaining. 20 can 5 times 4. 0. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 1 is 3. 4, 5. 2 remaining. 24 can 3 times 8. 0, 0. X kiyanne 1800. May 10 eha pathara ගෙන්චා minus වෙනවා. That would be 1790. Time ne බලන්න මේ x කියන්නේ මේ time ne. So that should be 1790 seconds. So here they are asking the total time ne. Total time kiyanne if this part is 1790, දෙපැත්තේ මෙතන 10 seconds තියෙනවා මෙතන 10 seconds තියෙනවා. ඒතර ඒ ටික ඔක්කොම add කරාම තමයි total time එක. So total time is 1790 plus 10 plus 10. That would be 1810 seconds. Okay. Is that clear to all of you? Give me a thumbs up, please. All right. If you have any questions, please do ask Lamaya. Then E. If the mass of the vehicle B is 3000 kg, find its momentum at the instance when it travels the maximum velocity. So, අපි දන්නවා momentum කොහොමද හොයන්නේ කියලා. Momentum equals mass times velocity. Mass, they say it's 3000 kg. Maximum velocity, velocity is 15 ms minus 1. So the momentum will be 3 times 15 is 45. 45,000 kg ms minus 1. This is the momentum. Is it clear, Lamai? Did you all understand that? Yashini, Fatima, Oneli, Batula, is it clear? Others? Okay. Let's move on to 5th Roman number. When drivers are driving vehicles, it is important to pay attention to the side mirrors in front of the vehicles. It is important to pay attention to the side mirrors in front of the vehicles for the prevention of accidents. What type of curved mirrors are used as side mirrors? What did you write for that? Yeah, it is a convex mirror. Okay. We have to use a convex mirror. Can you draw the ray diagram? My question එක මෙතන ලියන්නම්. මෙහෙම question එකක් දෙන්නම්. It's a question that I'm giving. ඒක පැත්තෙන් ලියා ගන්න. Draw the ray diagram of the formation of image when an object is placed in front of a convex mirror. මේ question එක ඔයාලට ඕනේ ඔක්කොම information ටික තියෙනවා. මේකෙන් ඔයා අඳින්න ඕනේ ray diagram එක. I will give you exactly 4 minutes. Make it fast, quickly. If you have any questions, ask. Did you all draw lamai? You need more time? Okay, I'll keep done. Okay, Sanuli done. Pinuthi done. Okay, let's discuss. Sorry, Lamai, may mute and unmute karnata, camera on off karnata because I have like uncontrolled sneezing at this point. So ekai mama may camera unmute karagena sneeze kan you might get irritated. So that's why I switch it on and off. So excuse me for a bit until it kind of calms down. Okay. Now Lamai, convex mirror. So I will first draw the principal axis. This is the principal axis, right? And make time again mirror. You know, usually api mirror can mudu digger line, dotted line or like a dash line api penna mirror ka vidiyata. Just to show that it's a convex mirror, I'm gonna draw the shape here. Light lesson ke recording zone cover innona mata kiyanda. Samanen in a convex mirror is the focal point and the center of curvature found in front of the mirror or behind the mirror. Hmm? Are you sure? In a convex mirror, are the focal point and the center of curvature found in front of the mirror or behind the mirror? Behind lamaya. Concave එකක නම් මෙහෙම තියෙනකොට මෙහෙමනේ mirror එක තියෙන්නේ. So in front you can find the focal point and you can find the center of curvature at the double the distance of focal point. This is a convex mirror. Concave mirror. This is a concave mirror. Convex mirror එකක behind the mirror තමයි අපිට focal point and center of curvature තියෙන්නේ. So focal point මෙහෙම තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේම distance එකකින් there is center of curvature. ළමයි ඕගලන්ට light lesson එකේ ray diagrams එහෙම හොඳට පුහුණු වෙලා තියෙන්න ඕනේ. So සමහරවිට කෙලිම ray diagrams අහන්නේ නැහැ past papers වල. But they check if you have studied and if you have learned it properly. එතකොට ඒකයි මම කියන්නේ ඔයගලන් කවුරු හරි lesson එක හරියට ඉගෙනගෙන නැත්නම් let me know, I will send the recording, right? ඔන්න එහෙනම් මම object එකක් place කරනවා. This is my object. Okay, let's see. මොනවාද race ටික කියලා. එක ray එකක් යනවා මෙහෙම parallel to the principal axis. Then what happens to this right ray? Parallel to the principal axis in a light ray එකට මොකද වෙන්නේ? This is a mirror no. Mirror කියන්නේ ආ reflect වෙනවා. Reflect වෙනකොට දැන් සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපි කිව්වා concave mirror එකක නම් parallel යන light ray එක focal point එක through තමයි reflect වෙන්නේ. But here the focal point is at the back of the mirror. එහෙනම් මෙයා රිෆ්ලෙක්ට් වෙන්නේ focal point එක through නෙවෙයි. focal point එකේ ඉඳන් රිෆ්ලෙක්ට් වෙනවා වගේ රිෆ්ලෙක්ට් වෙනවා like this. focal point එකෙන් රිෆ්ලෙක්ට් වෙනවා වගේ මෙන්න මේ විදිහට රිෆ්ලෙක්ට් වෙනවා. like that. So parallel light ray එකක් ගියාම concave mirror එකක නම් concave mirror එක focal point එක තියෙන ඉස්සරහනේ. So focal point එක through reflect වෙනවා. But in a convex mirror the focal point is at the back. So parallel යන light ray එක focal point එක through reflect වෙන්න බෑ because this is a mirror. So light rays don't go inside like a glass. එහෙනම් ආ reflect වෙනවා focal point එකෙන් reflect වෙනවා වගේ එළිය පැත්තට reflect වෙනවා. Then you know center of curvature through yana light ray එක so center of curvature through යන්න බෑ because center of curvature is at the back of the mirror. හැබැයි center of curvature එකට යනවා වගේ එන light ray එක like this. center of curvature එකට එනවා වගේ එන light ray එක ආයිමත් ඒ path එකේම අනිත් පැත්තට reflect වෙනවා. See? So parallel එන light ray එක focal point එකෙන් reflect වෙනවා වගේ මෙහෙම reflect වෙනවා. Center of curvature එකට එනවා වගේ එන light ray එක it can't reach the center of curvature because it's at the back of the mirror. එයා ඒ path එකේම අනිත් පැත්තට reflect වෙනවා. So can you see here this reflected light ray goes this way and this reflected light ray goes this way. Do they meet at the front of the mirror? No. එහෙනම් අපි පිටිපස්සේ බලනවා do they meet at the back of the mirror කියලා. They meet at the back of the mirror here. And this is where the image is formed. This is the image. What are the properties of the image? Real or virtual? Okay, image is virtual. Then upright, the inverted, the magnify, the diminish, the what do you think? Okay, virtual කියන එක ආවා. Tell me quickly. Upright or inverted? Okay, Sanuli. Others? Yes, Menuti. Others? Nilaka, Disal, Dinugi, Yashini, Seneth, what do you think? Batula, Oneli? Aki, okay. Fatima? You just have to look at the picture now. I'm not asking you to think and tell. Now we drew this, so you just have to look at the diagram and tell me. It's an upright image, no? So it's an upright image. And also, object image so it's a diminished image. Virtual, upright, and diminished. Okay. So, ඔන්න අපි පොඩක් revise කරගත්ත convex mirrors ගැන. So, එතකොට ළමයි හැම වෙලේම convex mirrors are curved outwards. Therefore, ලොකු object එකක් convex mirror එකේ පොඩි වෙලා පේන්නේ. So, if you like, in the phone camera, 0.5x දැම්මම දැන් 1x දැම්මම normal ratio එකනේ පේන්නේ. If you put 0.5x, the objects are seen small, but you can see a wider range. ඒ වගේ තමයි convex mirror එකේ. තියෙන objects වල size එක පොඩියට පේන්නේ because it generates a diminished image නේ. හැබැයි වට ලොකු area එකක් බලා ගන්න පුළුවන් convex mirror එකේ. So side mirror එකට අපි convex mirror එකක් දාන්න ඒක හින්දා. Okay? Because it can show you a larger area behind the vehicle. So what type of a curved mirror? It's a convex mirror. How does paying attention to those mirrors contribute to prevent road accidents? When the vehicles are driven, we can see a large area, right? අපිට ලොකු area එකක් එකපාර බලා ගන්න පුළුවන් convex mirror එකකින්. So we can see a larger area through a convex mirror. larger area. True or convex with large area. Behind the vehicle, true. Better. Any other answers that you have put here that you want me to correct? Yeah. ඒක එහෙම ගහලා තියෙන්නේ මොකද if you take now objects වල ඇත්ත size එක ඊට වඩා ලොකුයිනේ mirror එකෙන් පේන size එක නෙවෙයි ඇත්ත size එක distance එකත් එහෙමයි mirror එකෙන් පේනවට වඩා ළඟින් vehicles ඉන්නේ ඇත්තටම ඒකයි convex side mirrors වල ගහලා තියෙන්නේ the objects appear closer than the objects are closer than they actually appear කියලා so that's a good point හැබැයි ඒක මේකට answer එක විදිහට ලියන්න බෑ right that is just like something that is there to make the people aware පොඩ මතක් කරලා දෙන්න driver ට මේක ඇත්තටම පේනවට වඩා ළඟින් ඉන්නවා කියලා. එතකොට අපිට මොකද්ද convex mirror එකේ advantage එක අපිට ලොකු area එකක් බලා ගන්න පුළුවන්. all right I think that is all නේ. මම මේකේ answers ටිකට ලකුණු කියන්නම් ඊට පස්සේ ඔයගලන් අර කලින් part 1 එකේ answers උත් ලියලා තියෙනවානේ. I mean part 1 එකේ ලකුණු මම දුන්නද? no so ඒකේ ලකුණු මම වෙනම දෙන්නම් මෙහෙම 7th එකේ Roman number 1 2 3 අපි දැන් අද discuss කරේ නෑනේ we discussed it previous week no so 7th එකේ first එකේ තියෙන්නේ අර vehicle එක move වෙනකොට driver and passenger ට same velocity තියෙනවා ඒක අර explain කරන එකනේ ඒක අපි discuss කරලා තියෙන්නේ already ඒක හරියට ඔයගොල්ලෝ answer එක ලිව්වනම් you get 1 mark for that okay seat belts දාන එකනේ ඔය අහන්නේ so ඒක අපි discuss කරලා තියෙන එකද මම discussion එක කරන්නේ නැහැ ආයෙම I'm just giving the marks so ඒක හරියට ලිව්වනම් you get 1 mark then for Roman number 2 for writing Newton's first law you get 1 mark sorry 2 marks ඒක Newton's first law නැතුව Newton's third law වලට ලකුණු දීලා තිබ්බ හැබැයි Newton's first law is the most accurate answer, but Newton's third law can also be taken as an answer. එකට වැරදි දාන්න බෑ because Newton's third law is also there. හැබැයි most accurate එක Newton's first law. දෙකටම ලකුණු දීලා තිබ්බා. Then Roman number 3 එකේ මෙතන 27,000 meters නැත්නම් 27 kilometers. වලට 1 mark. 27,000 meters or 27 kilometers. මෙතන අර මෙතන 27,000 වලින් divide කරනවට ඒකට 1 mark දීලා තියෙනවා. For getting the answer as 27 ms minus 1 you have gotten 1 mark. Unit එක නැත්තම් no marks here. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. එතන there are 6 marks altogether. Then අපි අද කතා කර කර හිටපු එක. To prevent road accidents, to prevent the vehicle from slipping, ඒ වගේ වට 1 mark. Then friction related answer එකක් ලිව්වා නම් මෙතන you get 2 marks. Here velocity and time axis දෙක mark කරනවට 1 mark. Give me 1 second. So for labeling the axes, you get 1 mark, right? And then graph එකේ shape එකට you get another mark. and velocity එක මෙතන 15 කියලා mark කරලා මේ times එහෙම 10 10 කියලා mark කරනකොට you get 1 mark. And then මෙතන මේ methodology එකට they have given you 1 mark. Whatever the method you use, if that method is correct, they have given you 1 mark. මෙතන 1790 seconds කියලා දානවට 1 mark, right? And then මේ ටික add කරලා 1810 කියලා දානවට 1 mark. So altogether 3 marks there, right? And here momentum වල 3015 multiply කරනවට 1 mark, 45,000 kg ms minus 1 කියලා දානවට 1 mark. I'm sorry, Lamai. So convex mirror කියලා answer එක දැම්මම you get 1 mark, and finally for the reason you get 2 marks. So tell me 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20. Okay. How many marks did you get out of 20? Okay, Binuti. Okay, Sanuli. Okay, Akib. Okay, Disal. Okay, Ashini. Fatima, Dinugi. Nilaka. Okay, Oneli. Batula, Senet. Okay. Okay, Senet. Only Q1, Disal Q1. Batula. So, okay. Now, Lamai, if you have less than 15 marks, right? mark karagena, make a honestly mark karala. I'm glad that you guys are giving like properly marking and giving letting me know the marks you got, right? So if you have less than 15 marks, what you have to do is මොකක් හරි ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ ටික තාම ඔයගලගේ උගන්ට හරියට පැටිලා නැහැ. Then you have to go and revise structure, linear motion lesson. Then you have to revise momentum, mirrors, right? ඒ ටික ටිකක් revise කරගන්න. Friction, Newton laws. That part you will have to revise a bit, okay? So revise කරලා පොඩ්ඩක් practice කරගන්න. So actually, like, again, as I said previously, doing past papers and marking, like, calculating the marks, that is all so that we get aware. One of the strong areas, one of the weak areas. So that when we know our weak areas, we can focus more on the weak areas, right? And study. So, 2017, 7th ek ethani ivarai. Now I gave you the 8th question and 9th question to do as homework. Okay. Then 2018 එකේ මම ඔයගලන්ට එදා කරන්න කියලා කිව්වා. මට කීපර් දෙනෙක් photos එවලා තිබ්බා. හැබැයි හැමෝම එවලා තිබුණේ නැහැ. Right? Photos එල්ලුවේ not to like I was not going to correct your answers, but I just needed to see that you would do it. ඔයා කරාද කියලා බලන්නයි මම photos එවන්න කියලා කිව්වේ. කොහොමද හැමෝම එවලා තිබුණේ නැහැ හැබැයි. Okay? Okay. So second question. Can I ask again? Second, third, fourth the කරන්න කිව්වේ? Just second, third, fourth. And fifth, okay. All right, let me get the second question to the whiteboard. Second question. Okay. This is 2018 paper, 2018. The figure shows a part of a concept map prepared incorporating some functions occurring in the human body and the structures relevant to them. Okay, A is a digestive product containing only carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. I'm only put a balloon maker. Okay. So mouth taking some functions occurring in the human body. Okay. So mouth taking alimentary canal. So lamai alimentary canal කියලා කියන්නේ digestive tract එකට, right? So ඒක ඕනම් පැත්තකින් ලියා ගන්න alimentary canal, that is the digestive tract. Digestive tract එකෙන් a certain something is absorbed into blood. මේ A කියන එක නා blood වලට absorb කර ගන්නවා. Alimentary canal එකට associated organ එකක් තමයි B කියලා කියන්නේ. B කියන්නේ liver කියලා ඒගොල්ලන් අනේ. Alimentary canal එකට associated organ එකක් තමයි liver එක. liver එකට යනවා B කියලා කෙනෙක්. So Aම තමයි A වලින් branch එකක් යනවා B වලට, අනිත් branch එක යනවා C වලට. C වලදී ඔක්සිජන් අරගෙන මේ A කියන එක්කෙනා හදනවා D කියලා එක්කෙනෙකුයි water කියලා එක්කෙනෙකුයි energy. Okay. And then alimentary canal එකෙන් අනිත් පැත්තට branch එකක් තියෙනවා anus එකට. anus එකෙන් E කියන එක්කෙනාව remove කරනවා. Okay. So if A is a digestive product containing only carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, what is A? What is A? What did you write for A? Yes. ළමයි දැන් මම මේක ගැන ලොකුවට කතා කරන්නේ නැහැ because we have revised this quite a few times. Digested and digestive system එකේ end products කිව්වම monosaccharides including glucose, fructose, galactose. And also if that I mean carbohydrates ඔක්කොම digest වෙන්නේ monosaccharides වලට. Proteins ඔක්කොම digest වෙලා හැදෙන්නේ amino acids, lipids digest වෙලා හදනවා fatty acids and glycerol. So this is a digestive product containing only carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Only carbon, hydrogen and oxygen කියලා කිව්වම එක්ක carbohydrates or lipids. So carbohydrates වල end product එක monosaccharides and lipids වල end product එක fatty acids and glycerol. ඒතර ඒවා තමයි carbon, hydrogen, oxygen තුන විතරක් තියෙන්නේ. හැබැයි බලන්න මේ A කියන එක්කෙනාව blood වලට absorb වෙලා ඒකෙන් කොටසක් liver එකේ store වෙලා ඊටු ටික තව තැනකට ගිහලා energy හදනවා. Energy හදනවා කියපු ගමන් you know that we are talking about glucose. Because glucose is the only thing, the main thing that produces energy. එහෙනම් කෙලින්ම අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් A is glucose. A is glucose. Then state a digestive product. So A is glucose. State a digestive product absorbed by the lacteal in the alimentary canal without being absorbed into blood. What is the answer you wrote? Which digestive product will be absorbed to the lacteal instead of blood? Yeah. Lipids gatot lamai. Lipids wala, there are lipids are made of two parts, right? Fatty acids and glycerol. Etakota lipids now carbohydrates digest to nam hadene monosaccharides, right? carbohydrates digest වෙලා monosaccharides හදනවා. Proteins are digested and produces amino acids, that is the end product. Lipids are digested and producing fatty acids and glycerol. Okay. එතකොට carbohydrates digest වෙලා the monosaccharides and proteins digest වෙලා amino acids. Both of these are directly absorbed to blood. However, fatty acids and glycerol, which are the products of lipid digestion, they are first absorbed to the lactea. The lacteal එකෙන් යනවා lymphatic system එකට. Lymphatic system එකෙන් තමයි blood වලට යන්නේ, right? මේවා අපි recently කරේ, so I'm not going to take too much time to revise. Lymphatic system වලින් තමයි blood එකට යන්නේ. ඔයගන්ට ඕන දේවල් තියෙනවා නම් write කරගන්න, ලියා ගන්න මේ notes. Therefore here a digestive product absorbed by the lacteal without being absorbed to the blood is එක්ක fatty acid කියලා ලිව්වා නම් හරි. or glycerol කියලා ලිව්වත් හරි. මේ දෙකේ මොකක් හරි එකක් ලිව්වා නම් ඇති. A digestive product නේ. That means one is enough. Then part of nutrient A කියන්නේ දැන් අපි දන්නවා that is glucose is stored in liver. Glucose වලින් කොටසක් liver එකේ store වෙනවා. Liver is B. Before the storing, it gets converted to another chemical substance. What is that chemical substance? What did you write? Yes, Sanuli. Yes, Binuti. Yes, Saqib. Others? Yes, Oneli Ashini is correct. It is glycogen. ඔගන්න මතකයිද ළමයි? Glucose ගත්තොත් එහෙම. You know, a part of glucose we used to produce energy, no? And then excess glucose තියෙනවා නම්. If our blood has excess glucose, that glucose will be converted to glycogen by insulin hormone. Okay. So, අපේ blood වල excess glucose තියෙනවා නම් that excess glucose is converted to glycogen by the hormone insulin. Where is insulin secreted from? When the insulin secrete වෙන්නේ? ළමයි, when the insulin secrete වෙන්නේ? Picture. Where is insulin secreted from? Yes, Sanuli, pancreas. Yes. I love my responses, Mati. Haven't you studied this? Respond කරන්න නැහැ කියන්නේ මට assume කරන්න වෙනවා ඔයගොල්ලන් පාඩම් කරලා නැහැ කියලා. Especially the lesson biological processes, we did it recently. So ඒක revise කරලා නැත්නම් අමතක වෙනවා. Okay? Pancreas එකේ කොතනින්ද? Yes, Yashini. Pancreas එකේ කොතනින්ද insulin hormone එක secrete කරන්නේ? Yes. Beta cells in islets of Langerhans in the pancreas. That secretes the hormone insulin. Insulin hormone only converts excess glucose to glycogen. කොහොමද මේ excess glucose ටිකනේ තමයි glycogen විදිහට convert වෙලා it is stored in liver. එහෙනම් they asking what is this chemical substance and that is glycogen. What structural unit is represented by C? So what did you write for that? Yeah. Glucose වලින් කොටසක්, that means excess glucose, no? Excess glucose is converted to glycogen and stored in the liver. But mainly glucose මොකද කරන්නේ? කොහෙට ගිහිල්ලාද energy produce කරන්නේ? Where does glucose produce energy? Anamai? Yeah. Cell එකේ තමයි මේ reaction එක වෙන්නේ. Specifically ගත්තොත් cell එකේ තියෙනවා mitochondria, right? Mitochondria එකෙන් තමයි this reaction happens, where energy is produced using glucose. Can you all write the reaction for the production of energy from glucose? So production of energy from glucose can be cellular respiration. ලියන්න බලන්න reaction එක. කොහෙන්වත් copy කරන්න නැතුව තනියෙන් මතක් කරලා ලියන්න try කරන්න. Write the reaction for cellular respiration. I will give you 1 minute to write this reaction. Quickly write. Quickly write. Okay. So what are the reactants? Obviously, glucose is there. Glucose is C6H12O6. Plus, another. What is other reactant? C6H12O6 plus? Yeah, 6 oxygen. 6O2. 6O2 produces what? 6 carbon dioxide, 6 CO2 plus 6 H2O plus energy. This is the reaction. This is the cellular respiration or aerobic respiration reaction. This happens in the mitochondria. That is why mitochondria is called the powerhouse of the cell, right? එතකොට මේ බලන්න glucose මෙතනින් එනවා, oxygen මෙතනින් එනවා, මෙතන එක්කෙනෙක් හදනවා, මෙතන එක්කෙනෙක් හදනවා, and energy is produced here. So C is where it happens. මේකට cell කියලා ලිව්වත් කමක් නැහැ. or mitochondria කියලා ලිව්වත් කමක් නැහැ. Mitochondria කියලා ලිව්වත් කමක් නැහැ. D is produced as a product of chemical process taking place in C. What is D, lamai? That is now pretty easy. What is D? Yeah. So මෙතන glucose ඇවිල්ලා oxygen ඇවිල්ලා reaction එක වෙලා හැදෙන්නේ carbon dioxide, water and energy නේ. So water මෙතන දීලා තියෙනවා, energy මෙතන දීලා තියෙනවා. So D has to be carbon dioxide. CO2 කියලා ලිව්වත් කමක් නැහැ. නැත්නම් carbon dioxide කියලා වචනෙන් ලිව්වත් කමක් නැහැ. Okay. Then what is the reason for not considering E as an excretory product? සාමාන්‍යයෙන් digestive tract එකේ digest වෙන්නේ නැති ටික තමයි anus එකට ගිහිලා body එකෙන් remove වෙන්නේ feces විදියට. So E means feces, right? Why is it not considered as an excretory product? Why is E not considered as an excretory product? Yes. Yes. Only Binuti, okay. What about others? What do y'all think? What E means feces? Ne? I feces excretory product එකක් විදිහට අපිට ගන්න බැරි. අනිත් අය. Okay, others? Yes. ළමයි excretory product එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ metabolic reaction එකක නැත්නම් metabolic activity එකක waste විදියට හැදෙන එකක්. So ළමයි metabolic activity එකක් ගත්තහම metabolic activity is a chemical reaction. It is a biochemical reaction. කියන්නේ chemical reaction happening in the body. එතකොට chemical reaction එකක හැදෙන main product එක is important for us, but other products තමයි අපි waste products කියලා කියන්නේ. So, but feces ගත්තම feces is just undigested material from food that we eat. එතකොට ඒක excretory product එකක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ because it is not a product of metabolism. So you should write not a product of metabolism or metabolic activity or biochemical reaction ඒ වගේ මොකක් හරි ලියන්න. Metabolic activity, biochemical reaction or metabolism කියලා අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම තියෙන්න ඕනේ ඔයගලගේ answer එකේ. Okay? That is the most correct way of writing the answer. Then, 4 main processes taking place in the body relevant to the above concept map are given in the incomplete flowchart below. Fill in the blank boxes in it. මුලින්ම digestion of food. Then what happens? Digest වුණාට පස්සේ මොකද immediately next step එක? Yeah, absorbing. Digest වෙච්ච ගමන් it digest වෙලා එන nutrients ටික absorb වෙනවා. So absorption is the immediate next step. Absorption of nutrients, anything is fine. ඊළඟට transport of digestive products. So digest වෙච්ච ටික absorb වෙලා that digested products would be transported. What do you think comes here? What comes there? Okay. Decomposition. What is decomposition? Okay, Ashini. Yeah. Yes. Others? Make it answers keep back. That is why I'm getting your feedback, getting your answers. Yeah. So deposit වෙනවා right digested end products එක deposit වෙනවා කොහේ හරි එහෙම නැත්නම් use වෙනවා cellular respiration වගේ දෙයකට use කරන්නත් පුළුවන් නැත්නම් කොහේ හරි deposit කරන්නත් පුළුවන් so you can either write cellular respiration or deposition හරි මේ වගේම deposition of nutrients ඒ වගේ එකක් ඔයාලට ලියන්න පුළුවන් okay that is what comes there now B එක the figure below indicates a part of a dicotyledonous plant with a leaf එතකොට ළමයි මේකේ if you take this leaf this is a dicot leaf මේ dicot leaf එකේ what is the main feature of the dicot leaf that like as soon as you see the leaf you can say මේ dicot leaf එකක් කියලා what is that main feature yeah නිකම් venation කියලා කියන්න එපා yeah I mean yeah venation yes venation it's what the question says what is the main morphological feature that can be used to identify that this leaf belongs to okay yes venation කියලා ලිවට කමක් නැහැ yes that is the correct answer නැත්නම් if since this is a dicot leaf you can say reticulate venation veins ටික spread වෙලා තියෙන විදිය දැක්ක ගම you can say whether this is a dicot leaf or a monocot leaf state a morphological feature of the root system of the plant to which this leaf belongs මේ leaf එක අයිති වෙන plant එකේ tell something about the root system yeah it has a taproot ඕනල් lateral roots තියෙනවා කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන් but the main feature is the taproot it has a taproot state a morphological feature in which the stem of a monocotyledonous plant differs from the stem of the plant to which this leaf belongs so this leaf belongs to a dicot stem ne? What is a morphological feature of a monocot stem how, with regard to how it differs from a dicot stem yeah එකක් තමයි monocot stem එක unbranched ඒක කියන්නත් පුළුවන් එහෙම නැත්නම් ළමයි monocot stem එක even dicot stem එකක් even නෑනේ base is broad and the tip is narrow but if you take a monocot stem it has an even stem මේ දෙකෙන් ඕන එකක් ලියන්න පුළුවන් unbranched කියන එක දාන්නත් පුළුවන් even stem කියන එක දාන්නත් පුළුවන් okay then the figure indicates an apparatus set up by a student for an experiment conducted with regard to photosynthesis mention the aim of this experiment may experiment okay, what do you think is the purpose okay Sanuli Others? Okay. Okay. Photosynthesis reaction එක ලියන්න බලන්න ළමයි. Write the photosynthesis reaction. Yeah. Okay. Write the reaction for photosynthesis. Balance reaction එක. Balance chemical reaction. Real බලන්න photosynthesis reaction එක. I'll give you 2 minutes. Make it fast. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Right. So, photosynthesis reaction එකේ එන්නේ 6 carbon dioxide plus 6H2O reaction එකකට ගිහිල්ලා හදනවා C6H12O6. This is glucose. This is the formation of food, right? Plus 6O2. මෙතන උඩ ලියලා තියෙන්න ඕනේ light energy or sunlight හරි මොකක් හරි ලියලා තියෙන්න ඕනේ. පල්ලෙහා chlorophyll කියලා ලියලා තියෙන්නම ඕනේ. So if you take this මෙහෙම ලියලා නැත්තම් වැරදි. Everything should be there. Here this is actually to test if carbon dioxide is required because here මෙයාට light energy හොඳට හම්බ වෙනවා. හැබැයි මෙතන පොඩි එකක 8 KOH තියෙනවා. And we know the function of KOH is to absorb carbon dioxide. So යා මේක ඇතුලේ තියෙන ඔක්කොම carbon dioxide එක absorb කරනවා. Right? එතකොට මෙයාගේ photosynthesis වෙන්නේ නැහැ. එහෙනම් the aim of this experiment is to experiment whether or test whether carbon dioxide is needed for photosynthesis. Right? Carbon dioxide photosynthesis වලට ඕනේද කියලා බලන එක තමයි යාගේ aim එක. Okay. Then they're asking us to draw a control experiment suitable for this. කොහොමද control experiment එකක් අඳින්නේ මේකට? If you look at this one, now we know KOH absorbs all the carbon dioxide. මේ plant එකට light තියෙනවා. හැබැයි chlorophyll තියෙනවා because it's a green plant. Light තියෙනවා, water තියෙනවා, but it doesn't have carbon dioxide, so it won't do photosynthesis. හැබැයි අපිට හරියටම බලා ගන්න ඕනේ carbon dioxide නැති හින්දාමද කියලා. There could have been any other factor too, right? ඒකෙන්ද අපි මොකද කරන්නේ? මේකම, right? මේකම, yeah. So light energy ඔක්කොම එනවා. Same thing you duplicate. මෙතන KOH වෙනුවට you put water. එතකොට මේ දෙන්න මෙයාගේ photosynthesis වෙනවා because KOH නැහැ. KOH නැහැ කියන්නේ carbon dioxide absorb කරන්නේ නැහැ. So this will do photosynthesis. This won't do photosynthesis. ඊට පස්සේ දෙන්න බැලුවම everything is the same. The only thing that is different is that මෙයාගේ water තියෙන මෙයාගේ KOH තියෙන. එහෙනම් අපිට හොඳටම sure water carbon dioxide absorb කරන්න නැති වුණාට KOH absorb කරනවා. Therefore the factor that you are testing here is carbon dioxide කියලා. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි බලන්න ඕනේ අපිට නම් මුකුත් දාන්න නැතුව තියන්නත් පුළුවන්. water මෙන්න මේ KOH එක remove කරන්නත් පුළුවන්. නැත්නම් KOH වෙනුවට we can put water. Okay? KOH තනිකරම remove කරලා දාන්නත් පුළුවන්. නැත්නම් ඒකට water වගේ මොන හරි දාන්නත් පුළුවන්. එතකොට අපිට හොඳටම sure දෙන්නගේ difference එකම difference එක අරගේ KOH තියෙනවා මෙයාගේ KOH නැහැ. And KOH absorbs carbon dioxide, then we can confirm that carbon dioxide is needed for photosynthesis. Okay. Any doubts, any questions that you have in this section? All good? Everything is clear? Give me a thumbs up. Yes. Controlled experiment එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ now මෙහෙම එකක් කරාම අපිට now since we know that KOH absorbs carbon dioxide, so that is why මෙතන photosynthesis වෙන්නේ නැත්තේ කියලා. But සාමාන්‍ය scientists ලා කරාදී they always ask why. Right? මෙතන වෙන මොකක් හරි fact එකක් වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. Right? It could be some other factor instead of KOH. ඒක හින්දා මම හිතන් ඉන්නේ මෙයා හින්දා තමයි වෙන්නේ කියලා, but it could have been any other factor too. So මම හිතන්නේ මෙයා හින්දා මෙයා කියලානේ. Therefore මම එයාව විතරක් අයින් කරලා ඊටු ටික ඒ විදිහටම ඩුප්ලිකේට් කරනවා. ඒතර එයාව අයින් කරලා ඊටු ටික ඩුප්ලිකේට් කරාම මේකේ චේන්ජ් එකක් තියෙනවා කියන්නේ this is the factor that I have to test. So controlled experiment එකක් කියන්නේ අපි ටෙස්ට් කරන fact එක විතරක් change කරලා අනිත් ටික ඔක්කොම ඒ විදිහටම තියෙන එක. Right? So we are testing carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide with a related ne KOH because KOH absorbs carbon dioxide ne. So just changing that, but everything else should be the same. So controlled experiment එකක් කියන්නේ අන්න එහෙම එකක්. අපි ටෙස්ට් කරන fact එක අරන් අනිත් ඔක්කොම identical. අපි ටෙස්ට් කරන fact එක විතරයි වෙනස් වෙන්නේ. ඒක වෙනස් කරන්නේ to confirm as a confirmation. Is it clear, Lamai? Okay. Let's see the marks. Okay. This is 2018, no? Give me a second. Okay. Methana glucose ke liye 1 mark. Fatty acid or glycerol ke liye 1 mark. Glycogen ke liye 1 mark. Then cell or mitochondria ke liye 1 mark. Here for carbon dioxide, you get 1 mark. Then here, E is an excitatory. You get 1 mark, right? And then for absorption, 1 mark. Then cellular respiration or deposit veneka for that 1 mark. Then venation or reticulate venation kiya dammana 1 mark. Taproot කියලා දැම්මනම් 1 mark. මේකේ මොකක්ද එකක් ලිව්වනම් 1 mark. Here මෙන්න මේ reason එකට you get 2 marks. And for the control experiment you are getting 2 marks. So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So yes, tell me how many marks you got out of 15. How many marks did you get out of 15? Okay. 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 Great. So if you have 12 or more, then okay. හැබැයි ඊට වඩා අඩුයි නම් මේ parts ටික revise කරගන්න. Photosynthesis, then digestive system, right? Biological processes, ඒ ටික revise කරගන්න ළමයි. Yeah? Now you have some homework. මේකේ 2 3 4 කොහොමද මම කරන්න කියලා කිව්වනේ last day. So ඒක කොහොමද අපි recorrect කරමු. But in addition to that, you have some homework. So I'm actually going to end today's class now because I'm not feeling very well. That's why I actually kept the camera off. I'm sorry for that. Yeah, I mean, I'm continuously wheezing and sneezing and all that. That's why I kept the camera off. But yes, next week, අපි as usual 7 AM start කරමු. ඔයගලන්ට මම extra class එකක් schedule කරන්න ඉන්නවා. ඔයගලන්ගේ Saturday class එකයි combine කරලා. That I will let you know. Okay, මම ඒක ඔයගලන්ට බලලා කියන්නම්. Okay then. We will end the class for today and we'll meet next Sunday, lamai. Yeah. Have a great week.